So with the launch of Vanguard, you've probably seen or used the STG-44 quite a bit. But the thing is, there's 37 other weapons on offer, a lot of which are actually incredible weapons. Today, we're going to break down my top 10 and what you should be using here before the first weapon tuning happens here. Probably in a couple of days, maybe within a week or so. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, these are what I think are the top 10 weapons and a couple of builds that you can use along with them. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with this list? Is there anything you'd throw into the top 10? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's aim for 2,000 likes on this. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing running all things Vanguard, whether that be top 10s and best class setups, whether that be camo guides or updates and information. We got you covered with everything you need to know. So if you're part of that 70% of viewers that are not subscribed and you'd like to join us on that road to 500,000 subscribers, I'd love to have you in the community. And finally, my friends over at G Fuel bumped up code Espresso to 30% off your entire order. So if you guys want to try something out for the very first time or get a restock, now's as best a time as any. That said, let's jump into the top 10 weapons you should be using within Vanguard. So our top 10 weapons, in no particular order here at this, we're going to be talking about weapons across the rifle category, SMGs, shotguns, and things alike. So with this, we're of course going to start out with probably what you've seen the most, that being the STG-44. This was something that has kind of gained mainstream attention initially because, well, you could rank it up all the way in Warzone before the launch of Vanguard, so a lot of people had this ranked up from the very beginning so they could use the whole suite of attachments right out of the gate. Truth be told, if I'm being honest with you, I think the STG is honestly outclassed by a handful of different weapons, but it's so abundant for that reason. If you want to use the STG, there's a few things you can absolutely do to make it better. Vital probably being one of the biggest things you can throw on this, that proficiency that increases the size of the critical hit area on enemies. Things like the 30 Russian short, 30 mag, that increases that damage even more, giving you more killing potential. Then adding things like lengthened, increasing that bullet velocity, your VDD 760mm barrel for increased accuracy and control, as well as that damage range. You can add a lot of things here that make that killing potential even higher, but it's one that is still in the top 10, though might not be my favorite choice for weaponry overall, which is why we have 9 more weapons to talk about. Next up, I want to touch on the bar. Now, we talked about the bar in its own dedicated create a class video a couple of days ago, but things like the 50 BMG 20 round magazine, lengthened as an ammo type, hard scope as a proficiency to increase that accuracy and recoil control over sustained fire, it makes this honestly a laser pointer that kills in 2 shots at almost any range across the map. Takes a little bit of time to get used to, perhaps, because it is a slower firing weapon. It has a decent bit of recoil at the very start of the weapon when you're ranking it up, but definitely worth giving a shot, and one that I would place in my top 3 of rifles perhaps here with this. Coming up, another one that I think is in my top 3 for rifles is that automaton. This was one of the first weapons that I started using after the STG and MP40 on day 0 and day 1. And man, it did not disappoint. This thing is a bullet hose. It has an incredibly high rate of fire compared to other rifles, but it is something that, while it doesn't do as much damage, the recoil is incredibly easy to manage, especially once you start to get it kitted out. Now, it doesn't have the proficiency of Vital, but it does have tight grip, which makes it even easier to control during sustained fire. If you put on the 45 round magazine, you're going to absolutely be able to fry enemies and take out multiple at a single time as well. That Anastasia sniper barrel will increase the bullet velocity as well as give you increased accuracy so that you are absolutely frying at a distance. This weapon kitted out makes for honestly a point and shoot across the map laser pointer of a weapon. You're going to be hard pressed to lose a gunfight cross map whenever you're using this. Next, jumping over to a little bit more of a close quarters engagement weapon, we're going to talk a little bit about the MP40. Now, this is probably, again, one that you've seen a million times here, but you've probably seen it for good reason. It is just like the STG-44, though in the SMG category, the easiest weapon to pick up and use in almost any SMG scenario. It has incredible mobility, incredible killing potential, and is just something that whether you're a veteran or somebody picking up the game for the first time, you can do well with this. Toss on things like the VDD shrouded barrels so that your enemies don't get skulls and death icons, so you can be a little bit stealthier with that. If you'd like, you can toss on the 8mm 32 round, which increases that damage, which is awesome. And then you have other things like momentum, which will increase your speed after kills, making it a little bit of a rush happy weapon build. Honestly, this thing is a ton of fun to use and still, I think, is absolutely in the top 10. Next up, I want to talk about another SMG, one that may be a little lesser used, but is still a ton of fun and can absolutely shred once you get the right attachments on it, that being the M1928 or the Tommy gun. This one's a solid weapon to rank up and go through your base levels with, but once you end up getting the 8mm 50 round drum mag and then also the lengthened ammo type, this thing is a next level weapon. The increase on that damage allows you to kill in 1 to 2 shots shorter, and also with the output, that fire rate that it has, it's a bullet hose and you can kill in incredible speeds. Not to mention you can kit this thing out also for additional sprint to fire time, accuracy, and also things like frenzy, which will give you health regeneration after getting kills. It's a great weapon to just run through your enemies with. Highly recommend that if you haven't already. Next, the final SMG we'll talk about is absolutely one you've probably heard of. We've talked about it in a video recently on the channel about one of those weapons that's probably going to be fixed, that being the Type 100. Now, the Type 100 at its base is pretty solid. It can get up to a 3-hit kill with the right attachments, but even with the best attachments right now, it can go down to a 2-hit kill. Now, that's a little bit bugged. It's going to be fixed out here, I would imagine, in the next couple of days to weeks. But you throw on the 30 Russian short mags and also the vital proficiency, and you hit a chest shot, then anywhere else on the body, and it's a 2-hit kill. Add in things like lengthen to increase that bullet velocity and allow you to get those kills a little further at a distance as well, and you are absolutely frying. You're in business at that point. It's a weapon you absolutely need to try before it gets nerfed and adjusted, so definitely give that a shot. Next, we're going to talk about the SVT, because this, again, is another weapon that is a little bit broken right now. The SVT is a marksman rifle that truly doesn't have the best rate of fire, best recoil control, or anything like that, but when you play with it as you should, you don't want to spam it. You don't want it to be something that you use in semi-auto. Instead, once you end up getting vital for the SVT, it's a 1-hit kill anywhere from upper stomach and up. That is a lot of area on your target to hit, and to have a 1-hit kill, that's actually incredible. You can take this at range with a long-range scope, or you can do damage with it up close and personal if you just want to use something like the Slate Reflector and run through your enemies. But it's absolutely something that I think is in the top 10. Next weapon we'll talk about is that of the MG42. This thing you've probably seen quite a bit around. I'd say it's probably tied with the DP27 in terms of the best LMG, but the MG I think has at its base a little bit better of comparable stats. So therefore the DP is probably number 11 on this list if we were to extend it out, but the MG42 is an absolute bullet hose. It has incredible killing potential and is something you should absolutely try. Now, you toss on something like the 13mm anti-material rounds as well, man, you are absolutely frying with this. Now, the final 2 weapons we'll talk about come down to, unfortunately, shotguns, but being totally honest, they're 2 of the best weapons you'll see in Vanguard right now. Firstly, the combat shotgun. This thing is absolutely busted with the right attachments. You toss on the 16 gauge 10 round mags and also vital as well, mix that with the 16-inch short barrel, and you have a weapon that kills if even 1 pellet hits out of that hipfire spread. That's actually insane to consider, a 1-shot even if you just hit 1 pellet. If you're playing DOS House, you've probably seen this. It is absolutely abundant right now. So give it a shot before it is adjusted, because I'd almost bet that it is going to be adjusted soon. Then for number 10, we kind of have a tie here, because the double barrel as well as the Gracie Auto are both incredible, but they have to be ranked up in order to do so. The double barrel, you want to make sure you have the sawed-off as well as a kimbo. That's something that has insane killing potential, but truth be told, the Gracie Auto, if you end up having this with the Chariot 33-inch Sport, the 12-gauge 10-round mag, Buck and Slugs, and Gung Ho, and then lightweight as a perk for your class, it's actually bugged, meaning that whenever you shoot, you're going to shoot and move at 200% movement speed, meaning that you just go super speed at somebody and you absolutely mow down people. I couldn't tell you how many quads, how many 5-man feeds I got playing DOS House with this the other day. It's actually stupid. This is definitely going to be fixed, so if you can, use it while you can. And that, to me, is the top 10 weapons and some builds with them for Vanguard right now. So, that said, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Just wanted to quickly breeze through this here because we haven't talked about our top weapons yet in Vanguard, and also it is something that weapon tuning is probably right around the corner. So take advantage of these while you can. We'll keep you up to date with anything you need to know in regards to weapon updates if they do happen, and also bring you an amended list here, an updated list after the update once it happens. So that said, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this? Do you think that these are the accurate top 10 weapons within Vanguard right now? Is there anything you'd throw onto this list that perhaps we didn't include? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below, and if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Vanguard, weapon classes and builds, top 10s like these, camo guides, updates and information. We got you covered with everything, so if you're interested, hit that subscribe button so you you don't miss a single thing. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to chat with me outside of YouTube. So if you guys would like to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever the case, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.